Tests 32 and 33.
There was a middle-aged man who had recently lost his wife after a short illness. He was overcome with grief, and his friends urged him to go back to work to help him forget. He worked for a bank in a city, and every day he took the train from the small town where he lived into the city. It was a slow train and stopped at several small towns on the way. He always sat in the same seat next to the window and tried to read a newspaper. One evening he was on his way home as usual. He was thinking about his wife and feeling rather sad. At the stop before his, a young woman got on and took the seat opposite him. He hardly noticed her, he was so deep in thought. The next evening she was there again, and this time he was aware of her, because he caught sight of her bright red coat. It was a colour his wife often used to wear. The girl continued to join the train at the same station every day, and usually sat in the same seat, if it was free, opposite him. He was a shy man, and with the sadness he carried, he did not look up when she sat down. However, on the rare occasions when she did not catch his train, he hoped she would be there the next day. She usually was. After about 3 months, the man decided he needed a holiday. He didn't want to go anywhere that reminded him of his wife, so he chose to go to a small island where he could walk and watch birds, something he hadn't done since he was a boy. It was a spring day with a sharp wind and rain in the air. He decided to walk to the other side of the island. It was not a difficult walk, but at one point he had to walk very close to the cliff edge. The cliff path was narrow and dropped steeply down to the sea. He could see the waves breaking on the rocks below. As he stared down at the sea, something caught his eye. It was a flash of red. He looked more carefully, and then looked through his binoculars. The flash of red was in fact some red material that was caught between 2 rocks. His heart missed a beat, and in his mind he saw the girl on the train trapped by her red coat. With great difficulty he climbed down the cliff face and towards the rocks. There was nothing there. He searched carefully for several minutes before returning to the cliff walk and his hotel. It was very strange, but he felt quite upset that he had not found it. The man was anxious to get back to work. On his first day back, he could hardly wait until it was time to catch his train home. The girl did not get on the train. The next day he was even more excited, although he was at the same time terrified that she might not be there. As the train drew into the little station, he looked out of the window in both directions, hoping to see her red coat. There was no red coat. The train began its journey again, and with a heavy heart, the man sat back in his seat. When he got home that night, a neighbour called round with a parcel that had been delivered that day whilst he was out. He opened it, and there, in a neat bundle, was a red wool coat. His wife's coat. The tears came, and he buried his face in the warm, soft material. There was also a note from the dry cleaners, explaining they had at last found the missing item and were returning it as requested. No charge would be made for the cleaning. It was an important moment for the man. With care, he folded the coat and wrapped it in paper. He took it round to a neighbour who knew his wife and asked her if she would like it. "You see," he said, "it's time I let go. You've all been telling me that, and now I think I can."